Today with Representative Sandra Gibbons Scott. Representative Scott, tell me how it feels going up under that gold dome here in Georgia.
Wow, wow, wow. Going under the gold dome, you mean the Jim Crow dome?
Demon Dome.
The Demon Dome? A dome filled with hate, evil, and vindictiveness? That's the dome that you're talking about?
Yes.
Because it's not the Georgia Dome anymore. It's a dome filled with evil, vindictiveness, and hate. And so you asking me, how do I feel? That's how I feel.
Now I look at, in the back of the dome, there is a statue of Dr. King. Across from Dr. King, there is Eugene Tabbitt. Across from Dr. King, in front of Dr. King, there is Lady Liberty. Everybody's looking in a different direction. And I'm looking at what had happened yesterday in terms of the signing of the bill, the jailing of Park Cannon. What do we do? How do we not have a race war here in this city, in this state?
Well, they are waking up a sleeping giant. And I think one of the things that what they need to realize is that they can't do anything without us. They need us. They really need us. In the wake of what happened yesterday with him signing that bill on Thursday so quick, not inviting the public to come in to the signing. And then if you saw on the picture behind,
bingo!
He
Tell me
had
about
the plantation. So people, I need for you to pay attention. This is what I need for you all to do, to pay attention. Because behind the sign with him and the 6 other white men standing there, sitting at his desk in his office, he have a picture of a plantation behind him. So that is what they think of us. They think that they are going to drive us back to a plantation. But what they need to understand and realize is that we're not going back. The only thing we're going to do is go forward. That is what they're afraid of, that they may end up in that plantation because we're not going back. That is why they're changing the voting law, because they are afraid. But they fail to understand and realize but that they are waking up a giant, and a giant that they're not going to be able to control. Because whenever African Americans, we as black people can come together and work together for the common good, it's gonna be over. And that's what they're doing. They can't stop us. We will outwork them any day of the season and of the year. We can outwork them. We have always outworked them. Because everything they have come off the backs of a black man.
Now, Ms. Scott, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, you were a legislator when the Equipment 10. Equipment 10 plus 2 came about. We have legislators right now don't know anything about that. We have people right now don't know anything about that. That was a precursor of what's going on today. Tell us about that.
Well, I would say before the Equipment 10, you had Clayton County School Board. That was the real
You was
precursor.
in that?
The one that I was on, the one that I was removed from, that was the first of that was the beginning of what we still see today. Then we talk about the Equipment 10 because they lost the election in the Equipment 10. The same man that sits behind the desk as your governor today was then your Secretary of State. On the eve of Christmas, they go knock on the door, send the police, and lock those women up. And they had to sit in jail overnight to get them out.
Tell it, tell it.
And remember, Senator Brown, he got on the phone, him and Tyrone Brooks, David Lucas, and they said, we got to go to Quitman. We got to go to Quitman. They done locked them women up because they done beat them at their own game and they have won an election. What did we do? We rallied and we went to Equipment 10. And we stood with Equipment 10 until they got their victory. Until they got their victory. But this is that same man that sits in that governor's seat today that locked those women up and men. the same man. So he never had a heart for people. He ain't never cared about people. And he don't have a heart of decency to stand up and speak truth. He's a liar, and everything he say is a lie.
What's going on with the women and the state police? Are they getting treated harshly or what?
Of course they are. Of course they are. These police, they would never walk up on a black man legislator and do what they do to black women. And the incident with Park Cannon the other day, it just...
Take your time.
Unbelievable. Knocking on the door. It wasn't like she was banging on the door. We just had an insurrection on January the 6th that broke the windows, broke the doors, climbed over the scaffolds and everything and got in the White House. Wasn't even escorted out. That was escorted out, wasn't arrested or anything. And you're talking about a 120-pound little woman knocking on the door. 4 little knocks.
Oh my God.
And then he say, then in the report it say, she smashed on his foot 3 times. And I would tell you, them heels she had on, and she would have stomped on his feet, like he said, and smashed his, he wouldn't have been walking out that, he wouldn't have been walking out of that Capitol, because he would have needed medical attention immediately.
Anything you like to say in closing?
I would just like to say, Georgia, wake up. And that it only just begun. We ready. We ready.
Thank you. Lord have mercy.